Commander Kaelvex of the Valkorian Strategic Forces stood at the edge of Earth's orbital defense perimeter. Her formidable fleet assembled in precise formation behind her, powerful enough to overwhelm Earth's defenses entirely, but holding position, waiting. She broadcast a message to all of Earth, simple and absolutely direct. I am Commander Kaelvex. In 72 hours, I will descend to Earth and establish governance over your world. This is not negotiable. You have 3 days to prepare for this transition. Resistance will be met with overwhelming force. Compliance will be met with order and stability. Choose wisely. The message ended. Her fleet held position. Earth erupted in immediate panic and full military mobilization. Every defense system activated. Alliance forces scrambled. Diplomatic channels lit up with urgent requests for assistance, but military analysts quickly confirmed what everyone feared. Commander Kaelvex's fleet was technologically superior and strategically positioned. If she attacked, Earth would lose. The only question was how much damage Earth could inflict before inevitable defeat. Dr. James Carter, a human conflict resolution specialist who'd spent years studying interspecies warfare and diplomatic failures, watched the broadcast from Alliance headquarters. Something about it bothered him, not the threat itself, but the specific phrasing and timing. "She's giving us 3 days," he said to the assembled military and political leaders. "If she wanted to conquer us, why wait? Her fleet is in position now. She could strike immediately." "She's giving us time to surrender without bloodshed," one general argued. "Standard intimidation tactics before invasion." Maybe. Or maybe she wants us to understand something we're not seeing. James requested permission to attempt direct communication with Commander Kaelvex. It was a long shot. She'd ignored all official diplomatic channels so far, but they had nothing to lose. To everyone's surprise, she accepted his request for a private communication channel. The communication link established. Commander Kaelvex appeared on screen, tall, commanding presence, with the distinctive long ears of Valkorian military elite. Her expression was stern but not hostile. "Dr. Carter, you requested to speak with me directly. I'm listening. Commander, I want to understand why. You have the clear power to take Earth by force. Why give us 3 days? Why announce your intentions instead of just attacking? Because I'm not a monster. I'm giving your people time to understand what's coming and prepare accordingly. Prepare for conquest. Prepare for governance. There's a significant difference. Help me understand that difference." She was quiet for a moment, studying him carefully. "What do you know about the Valkorian governance model? Not much. Your species keeps to yourselves mostly. Military power, territorial but not historically expansionist. This action seems out of character based on what we know. We're not expansionist for conquest, we're expansionist for stability. Your Earth is strategically positioned at the intersection of 3 major trade routes. Your system has become a haven for criminal operations, trafficking, weapons smuggling, piracy. Your governments are too fractured to address it effectively. This instability threatens the entire region. So you're conquering us for our own good. I'm establishing governance because your current systems are failing. Not just failing you, failing the entire sector. The chaos emanating from Earth is destabilizing trade, enabling criminal networks, creating refugee crises. Someone has to restore order. And you decided that someone is you. I'm the one with both the capacity and will to do it. Your alliance talks endlessly about intervention while the problems worsen daily. I'm done talking." James considered this carefully. What if we could address the problems ourselves? What if we could prove we're capable of managing our own affairs and regional stability? In 3 days? Impossible. Maybe, but you gave us 3 days for a reason. If you just wanted to conquer us, you'd have done it already. You want us to have a chance to choose differently. She didn't deny it. I want you to understand reality. Earth cannot continue as it has been. Change is coming regardless of what you prefer. I'm offering you the choice between orderly transition and violent resistance. What if there's a third option? Over the next 3 days, James worked frantically on multiple fronts simultaneously. First, he dug deep into Commander Kaelvex's background and service record. What he found surprised him. She wasn't a conqueror by nature or history. She was a stabilization specialist. Her entire career had been about intervening in failed states, restoring order, then transitioning governance back to local control once stability was genuinely established. She wasn't trying to build an empire. She was trying to fix what she saw as a dangerous problem everyone else was ignoring. Second, he coordinated intensively with Earth's governments, not to resist militarily, but to rapidly implement the reforms that could address the specific issues she'd identified. It was messy, rushed, and incomplete, but it was genuine movement in the right direction. Third, he maintained daily communication with Commander Kael'vex, showing her what Earth was doing, arguing that they could solve these problems themselves given sufficient time. "You've accomplished more in 3 days than your governments managed in 3 years," she admitted during one conversation. "But it's not enough. These are gestures. The fundamental problems remain. Then give us more time. Not 3 days, 3 months. Let us prove we can address this. And if you fail, if the problems persist or worsen, then you intervene as planned. You lose nothing by waiting. I lose time. Every day of delay is another day of instability, another ship hijacked, another trafficking operation crossing your borders. I understand your frustration, but conquest won't solve the underlying issues. It'll just suppress them temporarily while creating new resentments and resistance. You know that? Your entire career has been about sustainable solutions, not just military occupation." She was quiet for a long moment. "You've been researching me. I wanted to understand who I'm actually talking to. You're not a conqueror. You're someone who's run out of patience with bureaucracy and inaction while real people suffer from the consequences. I understand that, but there's a difference between intervention and conquest." "Is there?" "Sometimes they look identical from the outside. The difference is whether you're trying to help or trying to control. Your record suggests helping, but this approach, the ultimatum, the fleet, the threat looks like control. Because gentle requests have accomplished nothing for years. Sometimes force is the only language that creates actual action. Force created action. We're moving. The question is whether you give us space to finish what we've started or whether you take over before we have the chance to prove we can do it ourselves." On the third day, Commander Kael'vex descended to Earth as promised. But instead of beginning conquest operations, she requested a formal meeting with Earth's leadership and Dr. Carter. At the meeting, she presented her assessment. In 3 days, Earth has accomplished what should have taken months under normal circumstances. You've begun addressing border security, initiated intergovernmental coordination on criminal networks, and started implementation of reforms that should have happened years ago. It's incomplete, but it's genuine movement. Earth's leaders were silent, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Dr. Carter argued that I should give you time to prove you can solve these problems yourselves. He's right that conquest creates resentment, and that sustainable solutions require local ownership. Against my better judgment, I'm extending the timeline. You have 6 months to demonstrate that Earth can effectively manage regional stability and address the criminal networks operating in your system. "And if we fail?" one leader asked. "Then I return with my fleet and we implement governance directly, but I'm giving you the genuine chance to avoid that outcome." After the formal meeting, James spoke with Commander Kael'vex privately. "Thank you for this. Don't thank me. Prove me right about giving you this chance. If Earth backslides into chaos, I will return and I won't be offering extensions again. Can I ask what changed your mind?" She considered carefully. "You saw me, not the military commander threatening your world, but the person trying to fix a problem everyone else was ignoring. You understood that my frustration came from caring about the consequences of inaction, not from wanting power. And you showed me that Earth could change if motivated properly. I still believe intervention may be necessary eventually, but you convinced me to try something else first. What if this approach works? What if Earth successfully addresses these issues? Then I'll have accomplished my goal without conquest. The objective was never to rule Earth, it was to stop Earth from being a source of regional instability. If you can achieve that yourselves, I have no reason to intervene. And if we need help implementing solutions, then ask for help instead of waiting for someone to force it on you. Partnership is possible if you're willing to acknowledge problems and work on solutions." 6 months later, Earth had made substantial progress. Not perfect, criminal networks were resilient and governmental coordination was still messy, but genuine, measurable improvement. Commander Kael'vex returned as promised, not with her fleet, but with a small diplomatic vessel. She reviewed Earth's progress, met extensively with leadership, and provided her assessment. You've done the work. Regional stability has improved measurably. Criminal networks are being systematically dismantled. Border security is functional. This is what I wanted to see. She established a formal advisory partnership, Valkorian expertise available to Earth, but Earth maintaining sovereignty and making its own decisions. James, having been central to both the crisis and resolution, became the primary liaison. He and Commander Kaelvex developed a working relationship built on mutual respect. When people asked about the crisis, Commander Kaelvex was direct. Earth was failing to address problems that threatened regional stability. I gave them an ultimatum: fix it yourselves or I would impose solutions. Dr. Carter understood that my goal was stability, not conquest. He showed me that Earth could change if properly motivated. I gave them time to prove it. They did. And James's perspective. She wasn't trying to conquer Earth for power. She was trying to fix problems everyone else was ignoring. Understanding that changed everything. Instead of resisting her, we addressed the underlying issues she'd identified. Turned out she was right about the problems. We just needed to prove we could solve them ourselves. If humans failed to stop her, the alien woman would conquer the world. Became their story about how conflict can be resolved through understanding motives, how threats can motivate change better than requests, and how someone prepared to impose solutions through force can become a partner if shown that cooperation achieves the same goals. Commander Kaelvex